Hello and welcome to yet another adventurous episode of Nerds with Badges. I've been here at work. I just got here about I guess about 15 minutes ago. Man, I just was just nerding out with one of my coworkers about Superman and Lois, the show. If you don't watch it, man, the show is it's incredible. It was 4 seasons of just perfection. Superman, Lois Lane, they moved back to Smallville to take care of the farm after his mother dies, and he's got his 2 kids, and one son has powers and one doesn't. I mean, it was just like a lot of stuff going on in that show, man. I mean, it was, and the ending was just, oh my God, I don't even want to give it away, but it's just so good. And I guess no more of those CW shows, because this Superman was supposed to be like a multiple variant version of the Superman that was in um, Supergirl and Arrow and all that. They said he was like another version. It wasn't exactly. I hate when they do stuff like that. But man, there was a lot of really cool stuff. I know a lot of people clown on CW, um, but man, if you want to watch the episodes, you got to watch them on CW first. Then they go over. I guess later they'll go over to HBO Max. Right now they just have. Well, it's not HBO Max anymore. I guess it's just Max. But they have like the first 3 seasons on Max. But if you want to watch the newer episodes, you got to go on the CW app, which is free, which is cool that they're doing that. I guess because the show originally started on CW. I always thought it was Max, but uh, yeah, like the DC is just killing it with the TV shows. I mean, movie wise, they've been a little shaky, but TV wise, I mean, it's come a long way. It was Smallville, and Smallville they had their own Justice League and everything, and then came Arrow and Flash and Legends of Tomorrow, the Black Lightning, Batwoman. There's so many. They were going to do a spin-off on well, I gotta sneeze. Oh, excuse me. They were going to do a spin-off. I hate allergies. They were going to do a spin-off of Black Lightning, but I don't know what happened. That didn't happen. But then you think of just the legacy of CW. I mean, it's just amazing. And of course, you have the stuff the other stuff like Supernatural, which is just was amazing. Long running TV show, and I think they're trying to come back. But man, yeah, I just got to work. I was trying to get here like 9 o'clock to give myself time to just kind of relax, have me a cup of coffee. I went to 7-Eleven. You got to do that before 11 o'clock around here because they close it. They close the 7-Eleven over here because it got so crazy. They close it at 11 o'clock over here, which sucks because for like 17 years that I've been working with this company, that's just like never happened before. So the world is changing, right? So I got my coffee, I got my Teddy Grahams, and I was gonna talk about this because I've been binging Cobra Kai on Netflix, which actually started out on YouTube as a series, and then it went. I guess Netflix brought it, and thanks to the power of Will Smith, now we got the legacies back. So I got the DVD, and I'm gonna probably maybe watch one of these movies tonight. I have a DVD player here somewhere. Um, they don't have the next Karate Kid up here. That's the one with Hilary Swank. So I wanna. I don't know why it's getting out of focus. I want to get the entire collection. So they had this was like $7 on Amazon. The Blu-ray, interestingly enough, there's a Blu-ray of the next Karate Kid, but it's as a double feature with Karate Kid 3, and that is for just a Blu-ray actually with a double feature, which is really cool. It's for just $7. So I ordered that. So that's what I'm gonna be doing on the weekend, getting my Karate Kid on because they got a new movie coming out, which is really something. So I didn't really bring. I was gonna bring one of my other systems to work with me. Well, the Lenovo is like the only other one that I have at home, other than my Switch and this. I have a Razer Edge as well somewhere, but I haven't really been using the Steam Deck that much because I was just frustrated. It took them like 2 years 2 freaking years to finally give us an official game recording app, and it's still, it's better than nothing, but you're only really able to do. It's just very limited, because if you crank the settings down as low as possible, and the video is kind of shitty, but I mean it's workable for the most part. You might be able to get 4 minutes that you. But see, the thing is, retrieving the files is a pain. I don't know why they made it like that. They didn't just give you the option to just like put it as a file that you can just transfer to your computer or something, or I don't know, or just even the Nintendo lets you straight up load to Facebook. It used to have Twitter, but they got rid of Twitter. So did PlayStation and Xbox. I don't think they have anything. But Nintendo still lets you upload 30-second clips to Facebook. So I don't know what happened with PlayStation. Awesome. They have an awesome recording game capture feature. I mean, it's amazing. And even streaming. I don't know what the hell is going on with Microsoft. They've just been dragging their asses with the game recording. The PlayStation, the Xbox One actually let you record. At one time, I think you could do like 15-minute, 30-minute, and 1 hour. Then it just became 5 minutes. And on the Xbox Series S, I can only record 3 minutes of footage. So when you record gameplay on the Steam Deck, you have these options. You can send it straight to your phone, I guess, but it has to be like, the file has to be like 100 megabytes of something like that. So that means if you have a video that's longer than like 4 minutes, God help you, but you still have to compress it. So like really the only thing the maximum I've been able to get is 4 minutes, and it's not exactly seamless. It will send the files to your computer, but I haven't really tried to use that to get the footage. But trying to get footage that you record on the Steam Deck, if you want to just get the footage and just straight up upload it, you can't really do that. It's just really weird, convoluted process. So you have to send the file to to another device, so like your phone. So if you want to do if you want to do maybe a 3-minute clip, you might be able to do it, to send it to your phone and retrieve it, I guess. Or you get a barcode or something. I mean, this is really very complex, and I don't know. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's a technical reason why they made it so difficult. I don't know. I'm just like spitballing here, just trying to be trying to come up with an explanation. I don't know. There probably is. There might be a technical reason. Maybe they didn't want to spend the money to like link it up with YouTube or something. I don't know. And maybe later they'll work on it. But like I said, it took them a long time. Now, I used the game recording feature when it was in the beta stage. I guess you still can do the beta on your Steam Deck. It's basically when you opt in for beta, it's not the regular mode, so you might have bugs and things, but you get like features that the regular Steam Deck users won't get. But I mean, you can do that. Anybody can do it. And then there's another one. I can't remember what it is. There's another one, and I guess that one's even buggier, but you'll still get access to things that they're working on that they will probably bring in later as they fine tune it. But the game recording feature was, I think it was available, I feel like it was available for about 4 to 6 months before they finally, one day I just went on YouTube and they were like, finally we got it. We finally have it. So now you have you can record without having to use an app, like having to go in and tinker and download some kind of app to let you, which is probably, that might be better than what we have. But I guess that it's approved by Steam, by Valve, so you're getting like a really good, probably better quality in some aspects. than just using some other app. One of the cool things about the Steam Deck that people like is that it's so you can really tinker around with this thing and just do a lot with it. So this is the the 64 gig model. Now, when I first got my Steam Deck, I had the higher end model, which was I think it was 649 I paid for it, and that got stolen. Somebody actually came in here, my job, one night and just like helped themselves to my laptop and my Steam Deck, which I'd saved up and had. Just really was devastating. I mean, just talking about it, just it's like reopening the wounds. So I couldn't afford to buy another $649. So I ended up buying the cheapest one they had, which was the 64 gig model, which is not. I think I think the operating system is something that's different. It's just not as fast. I don't know if it's the RAM or the memory or something, but it's like it's not quite as robust with power as the other as the because there were like three versions. There's the 64 gig model. There's the 256 gig, which gave you some, it was used. I think the storage was the issue. Was using a faster. The higher end one and the mid tier were using like better storage. So this is like, but you won't really notice it. That's what they said. They say you won't even really notice it. And 64 gigs of storage is really not anything especially when you're using Steam, the Linux. When you download the games, there are also other files that come with it, and it's always doing updates. So, for example, if you download a game that's like 10 gigs, there may be like some other Proton files, they call them, that you may have to download constantly. So, the average game is probably right now, since everything is like high def or 4K, a lot of the games are using, you're coming in like a game like Mortal Kombat, for example, is like 100 and something gigs. Now, usually they're not as big files as they are if you were just using like regular Windows or console. But when you use the Steam Deck, I guess they use it because it's using a different operating system. The files are smaller, and maybe it's because you have a smaller screen, and so you don't really need all that detail. But this works. The only thing is you have to get a memory card. You got to buy another a storage card if you want to really be able to do anything. But see, you're gonna have a problem. Later, they gave you the option to move the Proton files onto like a micro SD card, because otherwise, you would really have issues. So if you're gonna put games on the 64 gig model, which is like, I think this is like $399, and the other one, the 256, I think that was 500 and something, and then the 512 gigabyte one was like 649. You got like a better screen, anti-glare glass or something. You got like some other features on your profile, things I can't access anymore since my other model was stolen. Thank you, Steam, for not really helping me track where it was, or trying to or help me use my profile stuff that I had originally. Yeah, it was just really annoying to have, having to go through that. And the person that stole my Steam Deck, they tried to log on one day, and it was really, it's almost like an option popped up on my phone. That's my voice. Maybe I need to stay home a day or two. But they were trying to log in on my account from somewhere in Anaheim or Orange County, and I had to, of course, deny and change my password, and it was just such a hassle. Years ago, I had taken a trip to Detroit, Michigan, and someone stole all my luggage, and my computer, I just think people are always trying to take things from me. And for probably a month, I had to deal with someone logging in my Spotify account using my Spotify account. Like I'd be listening to music, and all of a sudden, some music some other music would start playing, and it would just stop. And then I was getting all these weird playlists, and selections of music added to my library, and it was like a lot of lounge music, kind of like, I guess, stuff that would kind of remind me of like in the Matrix, of Trinity and Neo was sitting down in a bar talking. There'd be like some kind of techno playing in the background, but not like, just kind of like lo-fi techno music. Uh, and they ended up catching the guy that took my stuff. Um, it was just such a bizarre situation to go through, and so you think with all this electronic stuff you could track things and find people, and I did for a long time. Sometimes I would see things show up on my account, like you can track your devices, but if the person just doesn't log on to the internet, you know, uh, but more than likely, if they steal your shit, they're just gonna take it to a pawn shop and sell it, I guess. But man, it's just such a hassle when you work hard for something and somebody just wants to take it. Uh, okay, rant over. So the Steam Deck OLED just came out. I think it was sometime last year. I feel like it was sometime early last year. The Steam Deck OLED came out, which was like a refresh. And all it really did was, I think it made the screen just a little bigger, and they did some things. They tried to downplay it, but they actually did some. They tweaked the system, made it better, so you're getting like a more, and of course you're using newer tech, newer parts. So the Steam Deck OLED has a really nice color scheme going on. I think there's like the buttons, like there's some orange going on, and it's really cool. But I just have this case I put on this thing, just so it's just rubber to give like some protection. It doesn't have a kickstand. I think I mentioned that before in one of my other videos. Like, you can stand it up, actually, believe it or not. You can actually stand this thing up, so that's cool. You can stand it up, and the vents aren't blocked or anything. So these are the vents, and there are also vents here. I think you're getting air coming out of here, and there was some weird controversy about people. I guess they were getting off on the smell of the new computer smell coming out of there. But just like with anything new that comes out, there's they had some hurdles that they had to overcome. But the Steam Deck really, really, really kickstarted a revolution, and in part to the Nintendo Switch, because the Nintendo Switch, was really cool to have a system, a handheld system you could take that could play a lot of games, not a lot of AAA games, unfortunately. You're starting to get more of those now. That's, I guess, the developers are seeing that the Switch is a viable platform. Switch 2 is probably coming out in March next year, word on the street. But the Switch, the concept of having a handheld console, that's pretty powerful. Basically, PlayStation 4, maybe Xbox 360. But I mean, it was definitely more powerful than the Wii U, which I love that system. The Wii U was a really cool concept. You had the screen, and it was a controller. You could just take it, which is kind of like what the Portal does. But now the Portal added an update where you can stream games without having a PlayStation 5. But the idea of the Switch, you have that console that can, you can take it with you on the go. You sacrifice some performance, and when you dock it, you get more power. It beeps it up. So you have, and then the little controllers, the Joy-Cons. So it was a really cool concept, having a console you could take with you, and then you could dock it when you get home. So a lot of the companies now are doing these systems, man. It's a lot of these like handheld, but you can actually install Windows on here if you want, which I have not done. I'll never do that. I'm sure 97, 98% sure I would probably never do that, because I have Windows. handheld. So why do I need to do that to my Steam Deck? So really, it's I know that some people say, "Oh, the Steam Deck is getting a little long in the tooth," but this thing is still, I think that it's great to have something like this that has an open-ended source like Linux, and I don't think these things ever really get old because you can always install older games and the games that don't really require a lot of horsepower on these. So really, technically, with the Windows PC, you can play. This thing is probably powerful enough to play from any system. If I want to install emulators, and I've never done that before. I don't know anything about installing emulators. I've had people do it for me. I have some systems that are emulator systems that I bought. But if you want to emulate older games, you can probably get everything from like the very first Atari up to probably, maybe even as far as, PlayStation 4, possible. I know I've heard that people are doing it with Switch games. Nintendo, they're like ninjas. They will come after you. They've been coming after people. But the thing is, like with all these older games, you can't find them anywhere. Or you gotta spend like $1,000 to find it. So you don't make these games available, and those discs may be scratched. They don't work anymore. Maybe the cartridges. It's just a shame that there's a lot of games out there that people would probably never see. Developers and artists whose work would never be appreciated by other generations because they're no longer available anywhere. They just go into limbo, which is what happens when games disappear, and it happens to digital games too. And that's something that has really been concerning me. Is why I've been starting to get more into like collecting physical media because it doesn't go away. They can't take it away. As long as you back it up somewhere. But when you have a physical disc or a cartridge, it's yours forever. It can't just be delisted. So you can always play that. But if it's digital, or if it's like an older game that it's out of production, out of circulation, they're not making any new ones. Trying to find a good one that's in good condition. God help you. And some games are like really hard to find. They're really rare. There's one game I've been looking for a while called Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg, and I did have a friend emulate that for me on my Logitech G Cloud, which is it's a handheld Logitech G Cloud. Think of it as a Steam Deck, but only more Android based. Not quite as powerful, and more for a streaming device. A lot of people were calling that the portable Xbox because you can, and then Microsoft actually was, they were actually helping to promote it because you had the system. You could install Game Pass. It's like you can on this if you, I guess if you install Windows. But see, Game Pass is like, the app, you get these Samsung smart TVs, for example, that will have the Xbox Game Pass app. You can stream all the games that you want. The technology's gotten there now that you can stream pretty much any game. Certain games have still got you may get like some latency, but we're getting there. And like in another 5 years, we'll probably be able to like stream anything. But the dependence on the internet is the thing. So if you don't have online access, then you can't access anything from the internet. So you have to have stuff backed up. So that's why I think physical media is important, because it's yours forever and you can always access it when you want it. The digital is, and the cloud is convenient. Yeah, but the downside is that you always have to have the internet, and you always have to keep paying somebody, so you can have the internet. So you already got to pay. You're paying for Xbox Live, you're paying for PlayStation Plus, and you got Nintendo. And when you play online on PCs, you don't have to pay for any of that. It's another reason why I've been gravitating towards PCs gaming, not just because of the incredible graphics and the being able to like tweak settings and on things and get better performance. And it's really it's a wonderful playground. You can open up these things and fix them, and sometimes make an even better device than what the developers originally wanted. And some companies are cool with that, but sometimes you avoid your warranty, so you want to be careful with that. I mean, but you can really personalize your PCs and your laptops, your desktops more so, but the laptops are getting there. You can work on your laptop. You can have a laptop that's pretty old, and you can still go in and fix it and work on the guts and improve the RAM and the storage. Maybe not even have to buy another laptop. You still have to keep making little improvements, but when you buy a console, you're on borrowed time. Another 8 years, you're gonna be buying another one probably to update it. So I thought that they were gonna make the Xbox Series X, upgradable. I think that was something they talked about, which was just quietly, dropped. But they should make consoles like that, where you just upgrade. You don't actually have to go and spend another. God, these things are expensive, like $600-700 now for the PlayStation 5 Pro. So I'm gonna finish my coffee, probably play a little Castlevania or something on this thing, and update it. Gotta connect to the internet. I know there's probably a million updates. It's been a while since I played anything on it. I think what I'm gonna do is maybe have certain days or something that I will. That's Sergio. Who else you think it was? Oh, welcome back. Huh? Yeah, I've always done graveyard. Yeah, I can't do swing or day shift. I can't do it's just too much with the bosses and all that. And people are looking over your shoulder all the time, and you can't even breathe. I mean, you can have it. And I would probably fall asleep. I've been working nights for so long. I can't even, I would be like sleepy during the day. That used to be my problem when I worked. I worked days for 1 year, and it was hell. Every day, like around, I think it really hit me like around 3 o'clock. Oh my God, it was horrible. Yeah, not enough coffee or. So you back permanently, or is this just temporary?
Permanently.
Oh, I think there's some other people are trying to come back too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't like how they did that.
Well,
I was thankful they.
Budget cuts.
Yeah, that is crazy.
It happens.
Like not just for here, just in general. Like that's crazy. Like it even happens.
Yeah, the world has changed. It's. I think that the next 4 years are going to be really interesting. Especially for this community. Yeah.
It's unfortunate. You just gotta stay strong now.
You just gotta pray, like my grandmother used to say. Just leave it in the Lord's hands. That's what my grandmother used to always say.
That's how I felt when I seen he won. I just turned the channel. I was like,
Yeah, I mean, I think that there might be a lot of Republicans that really don't like Donald Trump, but some of the policies I think was attractive to certain people. And I think that's why people don't really talk about all the crazy things that we hear about him, or what. I think it's just the policies that they wanted for like immigration and, the economy, and just certain things that were attractive. And then, I think that a lot of negative publicity was shed on the LGBT community as well, and I think that actually helped. A lot of people are ignorant when it comes to certain things, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I guess people have to see for themselves, because I saw the red when I looked at the maps, and I saw the red, and I was like, that's really interesting.
mm-hmm.
But I can't say I was shocked, because I just kind of had a feeling. I don't know. I just kind of had a feeling, because I think fool me once, I was really surprised when Obama won. Actually, I really was surprised,
Me too.
and I was surprised when Hillary lost. I really was.
Yeah, me too.
And I think that just kind of made me like, okay, I'm not gonna get my hopes up too high. But I don't know. I think that people, they might regret their decision. I don't know. It's just we. Will it really affect us directly, or will it just be, I think the politicians that we probably should be focusing more on or the local politicians, which most people don't really, I mean, most people don't know who their
There's a
congressman
lot of
is or,
stuff like the mayor and stuff.
yeah, those are the important, those are really the ones that will affect you directly. I mean, I think, people don't really, and then when I'm out, there's a certain time of the year you get bombarded by these like advertisements, you don't even really think about it, but it's like, sometimes you got to really pay attention to this stuff because there's certain things. I mean, the White House is important, yeah, but it just seems like the more local, because they have to make the decisions ultimately. A lot of the decisions they have to make it. Like a lot of times I hear they just gonna leave it up to the state, like with abortion and all that and certain things. And I think California is just gonna become very attractive to a lot of people. And that could be a good thing and a bad thing. Because everybody wants to come to California.
Yeah, and then everybody's like, you can move out of the country. If they don't have mortgage certain places, they don't have 3 times the rent certain places. And I'm like, who got your families out here just gonna move to a whole other country? It's not really realistic
Well,
for me.
I've thought about it actually.
Me too, but I can't even leave my family. It's like so unfortunate.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If you really, I mean, really, I know that we all have responsibilities, but you gotta take care of yourself. I mean, at some point in your life, sometimes you gotta put distance. You can always come back. When but you gotta live your life. You only get one. Yeah.
I'm gonna go turn my stuff in since we don't do that.
All right. I will see you later.
Okay, I see you.
All right. Take care.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess I am done with tonight's Nerds with Badges. I got 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Probably all the time it will take me to log in and do updates. So I probably won't be playing any games until maybe when I go on my lunch break at probably 1 o'clock. I got to see what my rotation schedule is going to be for tonight, because when we come in, we don't really know what our rotation. Like I might be at a certain location and then I got to go somewhere else, so I may have to patrol, or I may have to desk somewhere. I prefer that actually, because then I could actually enjoy my coffee and walk around drinking it. This is French vanilla mixed with something else, some other flavor they have. They have these like seasonal flavors sometimes. Like they have pumpkin spice, which I don't really care much for. But this is like birthday cake cappuccino or something mixed with French vanilla birthday cake. And then when it was coming out, it was just white. So I was like, is this really? I was like, is that water or is it really? But it's cappuccino, so I guess cappuccinos would be stronger than coffee, right? I guess that's a matter of opinion. Anyway, I got like, I guess I have like 13 minutes now, so I'm gonna try to like do some updates on this thing, and I want to play some Castlevania and try to finish this game. It's Castlevania Lords of Shadow. It's not the full-fledged 3D Lords of Shadow. It's the 2D one, or the 2.5D. Playing this game for a long time, and I thought I had finished it, and actually I switched characters. I was playing as one of the Belmonts, and I was playing as Alucard, and now I'm back to playing as a Belmont again. So I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on with this game, but it's pretty lengthy, and it just hasn't gotten any easier. I actually had to go online and look at some things a few times, but anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your night, the rest of your day, and I will be back with another Nerds with Badges episode. I have some things planned actually, and I'm gonna be bringing in some. Well, I don't want to say anything I'll just let it be a surprise. But I'm gonna definitely be doing some pretty cool things with this platform, and as I learn more about being a content creator and doing these videos, it's a growing process, a learning process. So I'm out for now, and I'll probably come back with some more reviews when I do another video.